Hey, all cinephile Mike is here. It is day 15 of Award Season Review Season 3, 97 reviews in 97 days, covering many of the films up for awards contention in early 2025 and so far in 24. As you can hear, I don't fully have my voice back, but I'm going to try to keep these maybe a little quicker. But I feel with the AI tools, I lost some of the genuine nature and spirit of what I try to bring you all with these. So I'm going to give you the few minutes I have with a clear voice to get these through. But on a separate note, I do want to thank the few of you that actually sent me some DMs and messages applauding me for my best efforts. Thank you. So, again, for these films I'm talking about, some of them are still currently in theaters. So, all the information you're getting is current within 7 days of posting. I'm going to give you the critical response, box office information, insight into the awards run so far, my predictions on where else it might go. And as always, and most importantly, these reviews are spoiler free. Also, make sure you're checking out my website, cinephilemike.com, where you can find the ever important and beloved informative Where Can I Watch It spreadsheet where you can track all the nominated films across every major awards season show and how to watch the films themselves. So, we are in a new theme week. There's so many themes to choose from, but given that we just had the winner announcements from the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards and the International Documentary Association's Awards, I felt this would be a good time to go into Doc Week. We'll be looking at 7 documentaries this week that are vying for awards contention. Some have already received some recognition, and some are still going for it. First up, I'm discussing MTV Documentary Films' Black Box Diaries. Written and directed by Shiori Ito, this film had a small theatrical release this fall here in the States, where it made $22,313, and a fall release in the UK, where it made an additional $10,526, which means the film currently has a worldwide take of $32,839. As per our usual critical source on Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a fresh critical score of 98% based on 56 reviews. Unfortunately, there is no popcorn meter score yet. No audience scores have been made public. So far on its awards journey, Black Box Diaries was nominated for Best Documentary at the Astra Film Awards and the International Documentary Association, where it was also nominated for Best Editing and Best Director. The film was also nominated for Best True Crime Documentary by the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards and was named one of the top 5 documentaries of the year by the National Board of Review. So, here we have Shiori Ito, a journalist. She documents and presents us with the harrowing situation she went through after she was sexually assaulted by a high positioned individual. And when she sought justice, this was not the easiest to pursue. The film chronicles 4 years, starting with the assault, which occurred in 2015, the publication of her book in 2017, and then the aftermath into 2019. So in 2015, Ito reported that Noriyuki Yamaguchi, a high profile television journalist and friend of then Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, did assault her. Upon reporting this, the officials inform her that her case is a black box, meaning that it is unprosecutionable, as in not necessarily enough evidence. This inspired Ito to not only make her voice heard, but to investigate the systemic problem with sexual assault in Japan. She decides to publish her story in a new book called Black Box, named for the case she presented. As she uncovers information, she learns that sometimes, unfortunately, up to 70% of victims do not want to go public, and getting them to go to the correct support system is problematic. Ito, though, does not just want to paint herself as another victim, but she wants to use that platform to ask the really tough questions as she goes to interview different government officials, well, those who will grant her an audience, as well as popping up unexpectedly on select individuals who are complicit with her case, who, you know, are not having this case move forward in the way it should. As she builds towards preparing to publish the book, she's warned that while newspapers and magazines could be one way to get the information out, the challenge with the book is that it's going to be challenged and banned, and we will follow through as we get to the hearing that really did spark the beginnings of that Me Too movement in Japan after it had started in the States. They refer to this in the documentary. Ito uses a variety of footage to chronicle her story, including cell phone footage, this almost home movie type of footage following her around at home, when she's working with her friends, prepping her book, talking about the situations, and even searching her home for wiretaps as she feels, her home is bugged. They use a lot of suspense in the film where whether or not you know how this case turns out, there are a lot of great elements with the way that Ito crafts the story. She also includes live spy footage, such as one scene where her and her associates, and the cameraman are running after a police investigator down the street. I mean, she shows that nothing will stop her from getting her justice, and she bravely lets the camera capture everything from the disappointments, of which there are many, as well as the victories, which are few and far between, and doesn't shy away from letting us see the emotional impact that it's taking. She reflects on the challenges of bringing this story to the front because she realizes the danger that this will put her and her loved ones in the path of. There are times when she just breaks down and shows that raw side. And by controlling this film, as she does with the publication of the book, Ito doesn't allow her story to be spun any differently than the way that she wants it told. Ito's editor, Emma Ryan Yamazaki, works with all of the footage and gives us, in many ways, this enticing suspense film as we follow Ito's 4 year journey. Also, she smartly doesn't underscore the film a lot with music, just a few moments, but she instead chooses to let us hear all of the diegetic sound of everything that's going on, whether it's cars driving by outside her window, the beeping of the wiretap detector, and really like bringing us into this. Cinematographers Hana Akvilin and Yuta Akamura keep their distance as they capture the entire story and, unfolds at a decent pace. This is a well edited piece of film. So, could this film be an Oscar contender? Possibly. Excuse me. It is in the conversation. There are two other films that I will be discussing later this week, Sugarcane and No Other Land, which have been dominating a lot of the discussion. However, this one does have content that is still relevant to our current political discussion, so I would not be surprised if we hear it announced. We should know if it has a chance sometime next week when the Oscars releases their short lists on December 17th. All in all, this is a powerful film that will add much to the conversation about, reclaiming victimhood and making forward strides to attempt to change the systemic issues prevalent in many countries around the world in relation to assault. Are we finished? Nowhere near, but this is just continues to show the battle being fought. For me, Black Box Diaries is a 5-star film. We're going to start it strong here on Doc Week. If you would like to catch Black Box Diaries, well, as of now, if you are one of my UK followers, I believe it is streaming on Apple TV Plus overseas. If you are here in the States, it is available to stream on the International Documentary Association's awards website. If you are a member, you have until the end of the calendar year. There's no other streaming information available at this time. So there we have it. 15 down, 82 to go. As always, if you like what you heard here, please click that subscribe button, like the video, spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd, and find lots of great information on my website, cinephilemike.com. All right, I'm going to go get some tea and try to save this voice. And until next time, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.